the love languages and how to use them to interact with your spouse. And one I touch on a lot is words of affirmation. I think that there's a little bit of a need for that in everybody. Because everybody wants to feel like they've been appreciated, I think, at some point. Is that something that you make an effort to do in your relationship with Terrell to affirm him? Do you subscribe to the thinking around the love languages, and is that something that he values?
Yeah, I would say that he does value affirmations. I think both of us do. He gave me one last week. We had to go in for a teacher conference for our daughter, and after we left, I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he said, "I think that everything's going good." And he said, "And I appreciate how much effort you put into getting her where she needed to be." You know, where you may not hear that all the time, and I don't know that he even realized until he got into that meeting how much, you know, time and effort, right, I had put into it. But I appreciated that he recognized it if he hadn't before. And vice versa. I mean, I'm very encouraging to Terrell. He's, you know, he's definitely growing. And he'll continue to grow. So I'm definitely very encouraging to him.
That's great. You know, I think that sometimes a lot of the things that we do just go unnoticed, or we expect our spouse to take care of things, and we dismiss the importance of recognizing the things that they do, and just taking that time. Just those few words makes a tremendous impact. And I often say that, you know, if you want more of something, then that's what you should focus on. And if you want your spouse, or, you know, the wife or the husband, to do more things around the house or praise you more, what have you, then encourage that behavior by acknowledging it when they do it. You know, and that's why I tend to focus more on affirmations. I feel like that's what was a big turning point in our relationship, in me and my husband's relationship early on when we were going through our issues. And so that's why I choose to ask that question every time I want to get other people's perspective on how that's impacted their relationships as well. Now, let's talk about romance. How do you make romance a priority in your marriage? You're running a full-time business, he's working full-time, you guys got 4 kids, you know, and your kids keep you pretty busy with their schedules. How do you prioritize that? Do you schedule or plan date nights, or how do you make it work?
So it's very hard to schedule over top of schedules. Let me just say that. Our hours are different for work. We're still shuffling kids around. So I call it micro dating. Terrell and I do a lot of micro dating.
Micro dating, okay.
So, and that works best for us when we are spontaneous. Of course, occasionally we're able to plan something, but we will, like we did one the other day. He came home from work early, and I happened to be home. I had an appointment that day, so I was home, and I said, "Do you want to go for a drive?" He's got an old truck. He's got a '56 Chevy that he loves, and I don't get in it very much. It's loud. There's no seatbelts. I'm scared it's going to break down. You know, we live in Atlanta. It only goes 56 miles an hour. And so I said, "Do you want to take the truck out and go grab something to eat?" And he was like, "Yes." So we went down to the Village of Stone Mountain to grab Philly cheesesteaks, which I have to get on a little bit of a freeway to do that. And so, you know, not only did we get to go and hang out in his truck, he blasted the Prince because he knows I love Prince. He got to drive the truck. I didn't say anything about being on the freeway. Like, it only goes 56 miles an hour. And even on the way home, he was like, "That was great. You got on the freeway with me." I didn't think he'd do that. So, you know, it was short.
Love it, micro dating.
It was about an hour and 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a 15-minute shower with kids in the house and the door locked.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that little bit of time that's just for us. You know, whether it's going to grab coffee at 10 minutes at 7 in the morning, you know, whatever. It's just those little tiny bit of time that you can just, it's just the two of you, because it's hard. Even if you have one kid, it's hard to get away. So,
I mean, 15 years of marriage, you guys have had, and 4 kids, you guys have had to become creative.
we have had to, we have. So, we used to, when we just had the two, we would, Thursday nights was our night, and oftentimes it was just a date in the house. The kids were in bed, we'd listen to music, we'd make something that the kids didn't eat late, you know, we'd eat late, but
Yeah, when we first started dating, Ray and I would do Wednesday night. We would go to the movies. When we first got together, we would go to the movies every Wednesday night, like the dinner and the movie show. I think is Fork and Screen, I think, in Buckhead, and that was how we managed to fit in the time after when we first got married with Chris in the house and everything. So I can totally relate to having to evolve how you fit it in. So for sure. But what about so what about sex? I mean, you mentioned the 15-minute shower with the door locked, right? And do you have to make an effort to prioritize that as well? Like you get it in
as much as we can.
You have to figure it out, because if too much time passes, it's just like you start to get a little snippy.
Yeah, and I can always tell when too much. I'm like, why is he like slamming doors and everything's a big deal?
Everything becomes a big deal. Yes.
You know, I mean, so you have to.
You have to.
You know, and it makes you feel, both of you, it makes you feel better. It doesn't matter if it's an all-nighter or it's just a few minutes or whatever. It doesn't matter. But as much as you can, you know. And that's hard. We had last spring, actually, we were out with 3. So the kids are 25, 22, 13, and 11. So we were out with 3 of them, 25, 13, and 11. Baby girl. That's the girl. So we sit down at Applebee's and we're getting ready for a great meal. And the waitress comes, grabs our water, and Nina was like, I just wanted to let you guys know that I can hear you through the vents.
Oh my God.
And I was like, why? So I just looked over at Terrell and I'm like, how are you going to deal with this? And I'm like, I'm going to slide underneath the table. And then the 13-year-old chimed in. Duh, we've been able to hear them through the vents for a long time, Nina, like you're just hearing that. And then the 25-year-old was like, yeah, I can hear you too. Like he, very quietly. And I was like, wow. So we left dinner and I'm like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to deal with this? Because I don't,
Now you're self-conscious about it, right?
Right, which makes it hard to have sex when
you know all of the kids can hear you.
It's not a peep show.
Oh,
so we have Alexa. Terrell has an Alexa in the room. So now we go to bed with thunderstorm. And I'm like, we could be a commercial for Alexa, because literally as soon as we get in the room, Terrell's like, Alexa, play thunderstorms. And then our room just starts storming. The rain, the lightning, the thunder. I mean, you can hear it. So now she hears a storm every night. She thinks that it's raining.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, so we have to buffer the noise.
Mortified.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we took care of it, though. Because I'm like, she's not going to ruin us.
You're not going to ruin us. That's
You're not going to ruin us. You have to live here a little longer.
Oh, my God. I can only imagine it. And the wait. Oh, my God.